Banks don't just dislike private equity giants, they fear them, deeply. Because these giants don't just move money, they rewrite the rules of the game. They tear down the illusions that banks cling to, exposing how fragile and outdated their entire system really is. Imagine being stuck in a slow-moving institution, weighed down by red tape, endless regulations, legacy systems, and cautious boardrooms, while private equity players swoop in, nimble, ruthless, and driven by a single goal: creating real value, quickly and decisively. It's a nightmare for banks, who survive on steady fees, long-term loans, and conservatism disguised as stability. The truth is, private equity forces banks to confront their own limitations, limits banks are desperate to hide. Banks want control over markets, over companies, over money flow. They want to be the center, the gatekeepers. But private equity giants don't bow down to that. They don't wait for permission. They act fast. They disrupt, consolidate, and flip entire sectors. Every move they make chips away at the bank's traditional dominance, and every success they enjoy whispers to the market: there is a new power in town. It's not just money, it's speed, strategy, intelligence, and above all, freedom. Freedom from the slow grind of compliance, from bureaucratic paralysis, from the endless wait for shareholder approval and quarterly numbers. Banks hate losing that control because it's their identity. But private equity giants don't care. They're playing a different game, and the stakes are everything. Now think about the pain this causes the banks. Their profits are squeezed, their influence diluted. They see deals slip through their grasp because private equity moves faster and smarter. Their relationship with corporate clients falters because those companies prefer the strategic edge and capital private equity offers over the cautious loans and rigid credit terms banks provide. Banks become frustrated, trapped in their old mindset, stuck chasing deals on the sidelines, while private equity actually changes the rules, building entire empires out of companies they acquire, improve, and sell for huge gains. It's not just competition, it's existential. But here's the brutal irony. Many leaders stuck in that banking mindset don't realize what private equity really represents. It's not just capital. It's independence. It's power stripped of permission slips. It's the ultimate expression of leadership, of driving change unrestrained by systems designed to stop you. Private equity thrives on understanding real business problems, on rolling up sleeves to fix broken companies, to ignite growth where others see decay. That's why banks tremble around these giants. They remind them that the future belongs to those who dare, not to those who hesitate. For CEOs, directors, investors, professionals watching this, there's a fire burning here. You know the system is broken. You feel the weight of outdated rules, the suffocation of conformity, the cost of endless meetings and approvals that kill momentum. Maybe you've felt the sting of trying to innovate inside something too rigid to bend. Or you've seen capital freeze because the old guard fears losing control. This video is for those who refuse to accept that pain as permanent. This is about unlocking the freedom that private equity giants have seized, and showing you how to wield that power yourself. Step 1. Stop playing by the old rules. These rules, designed for stability, predictability, and control, are chains disguised as contracts. To move like the giants, you have to unlearn the idea that growth waits for approval, or that risk means chaos. Private equity doesn't ignore risk. It manages it with brutal precision. But it never lets fear freeze action. The best investors don't ask permission. They build their own pathways because they know the system isn't set up for greatness. It's set up for safety. Step 2. Focus relentlessly on real value, not appearances. Banks survive by selling risk, moving money, and collecting fees, but private equity builds assets that change industries. They see what others don't: the hidden muscle in a company, the undervalued potential, the power trapped in poor leadership or bloated cost structures. They don't just write checks, they rewrite stories. You want to be a giant? Learn to look beyond balance sheets and glossy reports. Dig deep. Find what's broken. Fix it. Flip it. Make it undeniable. Step 3. Build your own network of rare, aligned partners who match your fire and vision. Private equity giants aren't lone wolves. They're networks of matched brilliance, brutal honesty, and unshakable trust. These connections enable them to act faster, louder, stronger. For real leaders, isolation is death. The future belongs to those who dare build alliances where everyone's power multiplies. It's not about fitting in. It's about standing out with those who share your refusal to settle. Step 4. Play the long game. Banks thrive on short-term certainty, the next quarter's numbers, the next rating update. Private equity giants know real change takes time, patience, and endurance. They're in it for the real transformation. So be prepared to sacrifice small wins for massive breakthroughs. Be patient but relentless. This isn't easy. It demands your all. But it's the only way to create unstoppable momentum. This isn't about copying an existing playbook. There is no one-size-fits-all shortcut. The banks lost their grip on the future because they stopped evolving. They got comfortable, convinced the system would protect them. Meanwhile, private equity giants raced ahead because they refused comfort. They burned with the need to remake the rules. And that's what you must do. Burn to break the old, build the new, relentlessly. If you feel the fire in your gut, the restless urge to do more, to shake off limits, to redirect power, not as a victim or spectator, but as a leader capable of remaking realities, then this is your call to arms. Private equity isn't just a business game. It's a rebellion against stagnation, against the slow decay of complacency, against the lies that say you must wait your turn, conform, be processed and consumed by systems that kill ambition. It's raw power in human form. It's freedom. It's sovereignty over your own vision. And banks? They will keep fearing that power because it exposes their fragility. But you don't have to be afraid. You can take that fear and flip it. Use it as fuel. The secret is simple. Refuse to be a prisoner of yesterday's rules. Own your will. Question everything that holds you back. Redefine what's possible in your business, your investments, your leadership. Choose your allies with care and burn with purpose for the long haul. Look around. The world is full of locked doors disguised as norms. Private equity giants have the key. Now it's your turn to shape that key, to craft your own path, to become untouchable. Not because you want to destroy, but because you want to build something real, clear, free from the tired myths of limitation and control. This is not a game for the passive or the comfortable. It's for those who want to claim their freedom, their power, their place in the future. It's for those who know silence is their enemy and action their weapon. Because in the end, it's not about what banks fear. It's about what you will dare to do with that fear, and how far you will go. The giants don't wait. Neither should you. Step forward, burn bright, change everything.